Pick yourself. So what I mean by that is don't wait around for someone to believe in you. For someone to say, I think your work is good, I pick you. You don't need to wait around for someone to do that. Pick yourself.
This podcast is proudly supported by the Ōtara Network Action Committee, ōNAC Community-Owned, Community-Driven and Community-Led.
Kia ora everyone, welcome back to the We Ōtara podcast. The name has changed, but it's still same content. My name, of course, is Vincent Tara and Vitalino. Our sponsors, well, I don't know if you heard about them. They're named ōNAC. They're an amazing group of people for Otarians, by Otarians. So if you ever see them by, give them a big wave. Today is a big day for me, honestly, listeners and viewers. I feel like I've peaked at my career of podcasting. Well, I feel like I've peaked in my career right now. I feel like I've met the King of England, the United States President, and the Tsar of Russia all in one. and I just. We even just had, I even do my intro and I didn't need to, but he was already like spreading his amazing word. Welcome, Mr. Riley.
Thank you, Vinny.
I'm going to keep calling you Mr. Riley because I feel like I'm back at Tango College. I was like, oh, where's my uniform slip?
Are you sure you can't call me David?
Nah, it feels weird though. Even if I meet like other teachers back, like I'll still call them by their prefecture, Mr. or Miss.
Yeah.
Because I'm still at that mindset.
Yeah.
I was reading an article about like an English football player by Ian Rush. He met his coach like in 2010, 2011.
Yeah.
And all you hear is him still using his prefect as Mr. such and such.
Yeah.
And when we had our conversation earlier, I still felt that,
Yeah.
I still felt like I was still back in that classroom.
It's like a respect thing, eh?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I have so much respect for you because you led my pathway into where I needed to be. I started writing and doing poetry, being very open.
Yeah.
And I just want to go into this part where, what was it like doing that as a teacher for TC, especially, in an area, especially like Ōtara, where a lot of our young students just don't feel like they have that belief in them.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one of the biggest things about being a teacher in Ōtara is instilling belief, eh?
Absolutely.
A lot of it begins there, instilling belief in these young people that you are as valuable as anyone else, you have potential as anyone else does. You got to work like everyone else does to get it.
Yeah.
But let's start from the belief that you first of all are a worthy person, are a talented person. You have excellence in your DNA. You have amazingness in your family, in who you are, and God made you, so that already makes you amazing. So let's boost you. Let's get that encouragement. Let's believe, and then see what we can do from there. Yeah, everything starts from there with teaching.
Yeah, because like from day one, when I even went into that classroom, like, well, if you're in David Riley's class, or Mr. Riley, as I like to say, you know that you hit gold. Because honest to God, I've been like on my form, so when we got our list, our timetables, we were like looking through, going, oh yeah, who do we get? Mr. Famuina? Oh okay, oh yeah, Miss Famuina. Okay, she's cool. I felt like I was Charlie opening the golden ticket, and I was like, Mr. Riley, yo! I was like, all right, cool.
Did you know I was going to mock you hard out about State of Origin, though?
I mean, I just keep that buried in the past. I saw the errors on my way. Don't worry about it. But those kids who had that privilege to go into your class, what was it like establishing things like the drama club? We as secondary schools out in South Auckland, we're more, I don't know if you noticed as well, is more sport oriented. Our first 15, our second 15 boys are doing well. And then when you really see a program like the drama club, because I never saw something like this that could have happened, like that. And then a year later will be the debate club with Miss T. So what was your thoughts when you established that drama club? Because it was influential. Because how long did it go through?
Still there.
Still there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it became a class after that.
Wait, really?
Yeah, it became a subject. So it wasn't a subject before that. It was maybe 10 years before with a teacher named Miss Pendergast. Pendergast used to have a drama class for a couple of years, but then she left and then it died.
Yeah.
But I always used to put drama into my English classes because I love drama, and I wanted to make it fun. So, acting out the stories, making the stories, come to life was fun for me.
Yeah.
And so I try to find ways to do that in English. And then, so I invited the Auckland Theatre Company to come and do a project with one of my English classes. Yeah. And then from there, they contacted me the next year and said that they have some funding to bring actors and directors in to work with a school. And would we like to be that school? And I said, yeah, definitely. And so the way it worked was every Monday afternoon, the students would come out of their normal class and come to this drama club and work with different actors and directors. And so we had like kind of like not really auditions, but just they had to come see me, say why they want to come, And, they'll tell all the stories, But now I know it was get out of maths or whatever. But all good. But, so we did that. We did that drama club. And then I saw, man, our students really loved this. And I knew they would, So then I asked our principal, can I start drama, as an actual subject in our school? Because, look, this drama club was really good. And she said, yeah. And I was like, okay, cool. So I was the teacher. I had no clue what I was doing because I had no training in drama at all. And, so the first year that I started the drama class, we had a year 12 and a year 13 class. And I had no clue what I was doing. I was lost, man. It was like being a beginning teacher all over again. But slowly built it. And then we added a year 11 class. And then, that's what I ended up leaving English and moving into the drama and working with drama students. And to be honest, I didn't teach any of them much at all in terms of drama. But what I did do was like I connected us. So I made connections with Black Grace and Red Leap Theatre Company and Massive Theatre Company. And so I will get those guys to come and do projects with my students. So they'll get taught by professionals, and me on the side, I'll be taking notes, learning from the professionals how to teach drama, So it was like, really fun and a really great way for me to learn how to do it as well. Yeah, and it's a beautiful subject, man. I wish I was there when you were there because I know you would have smashed it, Vinny, and I know you would have loved it.
I just hearing about it, even if I wasn't there, just the fact that it carried on as a proper subject. Yeah. Because it allows students to just be creative. And I remember not only the drama club being creative, but you also helped out with I don't know if you remember the manager from Tupu Library, Noel. Yeah. No. To create the rap club. Yeah. And I was like, yo, all right, the rap club has been built. Yeah. And then just you influenced Tupu Library to do other programs such as I remember now like the Gentlemen's Club and whatnot, just those groups started from that rap club from the very beginning. Your influence went out there, and it was awesome.
Because our students love to, they're not stereotyped, they're like kids anywhere. There's so many different interests, and not every kid, like you said, wants to play sport. Not every kid likes rugby. Some kids love to tell stories, whether it's through writing or through rap or through acting or through music. Some kids are storytellers. And we needed to provide an opportunity for them to do that. And there were to be honest, there weren't really that many opportunities. There's opportunities in music, and art, but not really and also in like independent, creative writing, whatever. But in terms of like, because now there's a spoken word club as well, run by Mr. Walesi at TC, and there's debating, as you said, so there's like all these, and there's dance, so there's all these different forms now that, not just from me, but lots of us who wanted to provide opportunities for our kids who are different than other kids, to express and do what they love to do at school. And it's something that we love to do too. So it blesses us at the same time.
Absolutely, yeah. Talk about blessings. We'll move away from TC and going into your writing aspects of things. What got you into getting into that sort of vibe of writing for children? Because I was like, I remember seeing the Facebook post of your first book, and I was like, is this for real? He's getting into writing? I was like,
Yeah.
Okay, I'll support him, share my post and everything. But how, where were you at that time where you were thinking, man, I need to take that big jump from teaching into writing?
Yeah. Well, I wanted to be a writer when I was at primary school at Viscount in Mangere, and I wanted to write stories because I really loved reading a lot, and I thought, man, I want to tell some stories too. But because I never saw any writers or knew any writers, anyone that did that, growing up and where I lived, I thought, nah, writers, they're famous, they wear suits and they're from New York and, they're not David Riley from Viscount School Mangere. So I never really pursued it. I just did it privately, my own writing, and did little things every now and then. And then I did some, after uni, I did some writing for Samoan newspaper, freelance sports writing. And then, and it's just doing little bits and pieces like that, but still with this dream that, man, I want to be a writer one day, but not thinking I could do it. And then, when I'm at TC and I was teaching English, take our kids down to the library. Okay, guys, go find a book. We're going to do some silent reading now. It's disheartening to see them coming back, a lot, especially the boys. Oh, sir, there's nothing in here I want to read. The books in here are boring, And I know they wanted to see themselves in the books, They wanted to see things that they like, things that they value, their histories, their interests in books. And there wasn't, And that's the reason why I thought, okay, you know what? I'm going to write a book about something that I know that our students will like to read about. And so I did that, and then published it, and then I went through a publishing company. But then after going through that experience, the realizing, I was so happy that I achieved that dream I had. When I signed this contract on the publishing company gave me a contract, and I was so thrilled, yeah, I'm going to be an author. But I didn't even read the contract, And then later I realized, wow, they own my work, They actually control it. They're going to control what it looks like. That's not what I want it to look like. They're going to control the price. I don't want them to make it that cost that much.
Yeah.
They're going to control when it goes out. I want them to put it out now. It's needed now. All that. I was like, man, I think next time I'm going to try and do this myself because I can't wait around and, there's too much urgency. The work is needed. It's really got to get these books out for our kids. So I decided, man, from now on, I'm going to do it myself. So I started publishing my own books, and it was a real hard learning experience, of how to do it, because I didn't know how to do that, and how much it costs, and it was, it was a challenge, But I was much more, I would much rather do that and own it and put it out when I want to put it out than have someone else control it.
Absolutely.
and own the work. So started to write more and more. And then, one time Miss Ashmore, the principal, said to me, how's your writing going? And I said, man, I find it hard to balance teaching and writing, eh? And she goes, well, if you want to go part-time, we'll support you. And I was like, really, miss? And she said, yeah. And I was like, oh, man, okay, let me talk to my wife about it. So talked to my wife. She said, okay, if you can make enough money from your writing to balance losing half your pay, then we can do it. So it was like, okay, then let's try it then. So I went part-time, and I was able to sell enough books to make up for what I lost on my pay.
Yeah.
Right. And so that was for about 3 years. And then eventually the writing was just overtaking the teaching. And, I told you before, I was starting to do workshops with kids in other schools and that, and having to ask for leave a lot, And then, so I had to ask my wife, what about if I left teaching now and did this full time? Can we do it? And she goes, man, it's going to be a half drop in your pay, So if we can make the half pay that you did before, then we can do it. So managed to survive so far, with doing this not through just writing books, but also doing workshops with kids and community groups. So it's another way to get some income as well. So that's kind of like how I got to where I'm doing now. It's been like a lifetime of journey.
Just hard work.
Yeah.
Hard mahi.
Yeah.
And I just want to go back to your earlier statement when you were like the kid back in Mangere. You know, when I heard that, the image changed for me. It wasn't that gentleman in a suit, you know. It's a gentleman in a shirt and a sevai kosokosos and gendals, you know.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing about it, is that you portray a person that these kids could see.
Yeah.
You know, it's not just, I need to get this fancy car or this, you know, fancy status because everyone else is getting this fancy status. You make it so that when these kids dream, they can dream a dream that it's achievable.
Yeah.
And I want to personally thank you for that, because I never saw a dream. It always was black and I couldn't see anything. But people like yourself make that dream believable.
Yeah.
And I dreamed a better future, and every day when I lay in my head and I'm thinking about the people that I've come across, especially like yourself, I'm going, man, I know that the next day is going to be eventful.
Yeah, man.
I'm going to have the next day.
Yeah.
I've got my plan. Let's go for it.
Yeah. That's why I like doing the projects, the writing projects with kids, you know. So not only am I doing my own writing, but also I want to grow the numbers of writers out there, you know. And so when I do a project with kids, you know, now they can see a writer. You know, they can see, oh man, you're right. He wears jandals and shorts, and he talks kind of like us. You know, he grew up where we grew up.
Yeah.
You know, he drives a Mustang.
Yeah.
You know, he's just a normal guy. You know, which I wish I knew that. You know, when I was 10. You know, and then I would have had it, because it's like you said. You know, you have to see it sometimes to be able to believe that you can do something.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why it's so important for me that, especially when it comes to writing and book publishing, it sometimes seems like it's a mystical process, you know, like, ooh, writer, ooh, published, you know, it seems like, but it's not, you know, it's an ordinary person, and there's a process you can do. Anyone can do it, anyone, if you have the love for it, you know. Absolutely. And that's what I wanted to show our kids, that you can be a writer. And not only that, but we need you to be writers, you know, because we need more Pacific and Māori writers in this world. We need heaps more.
It's in our DNA. Our ancestors, to our great grandparents, to our grandparents, all tell stories of our ancestry past. That story is going to go missing, or you know, it's going to be lost within time. So to have someone like you, you know, teach these kids on how to write, and then expanding their mind and going, oh, I remember this story. So said to me, I can be able to write this down no matter what. Let's write it down.
Yeah.
And then in the near future, it's written down, not because they wanted to for fame or anything. It's their mind is open to allowing that thought just to be on page.
Yeah, you want to share it with people, eh? And that's, storytelling is happening all the time, eh?
Yeah.
But the kind of storytelling I'm talking about is the writing form and a book form, eh? You know, which is another valuable form and a great resource for kids who love reading, and to, you know, to build the world of literature up, as well as all the other forms of storytelling that our young people already do and are good at. You know, here's another form to add to that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I know this. How's our time looking, Will? We're good? We're good? Sweet. I always like to end off our podcast with this question, and it's, you've been filled with positivity, and you always will be. So if you got any, like, if you have a quote or something very positive that you like to say out to anyone who's listening or watching to this podcast, what would it be?
I think it would be, pick yourself. So what I mean by that is, don't wait around for someone to believe in you. You know, for someone to say, I think your work is good, I pick you. You know, you don't need to wait around for someone to do that. Pick yourself. And, you know, if you think that you have a project you want to do, if you want to be a writer, if you want to start a dance crew or whatever you want to do, you know, in your life, if you wait around for someone to say, I see value in you, it might not happen, sadly, you know. And that's why I want to encourage you. You don't have to do that anyway. You know, you can pick yourself, and you can learn how to do things in life. So yeah, that's. And also, I also want to say to that, remember that God is with you as well. That's another. Don't forget that one, because that's quite a big one, you know, for me, knowing that God is with me, you know, helps you to go through the challenging moments that there will be along the way, which are many and never ending, you know. So those two things, yeah.
Just hearing those words once again, it puts me back in being in a classroom, but I'm not in a classroom anymore. You know, I feel like I'm just
man, those are memories, Vinny. You know, you're making me want to go back to teaching now. Yeah, I'm thinking, oh man, I missed that. You know, I missed the relationship building and the laughs and the mocking and, you know, and the life lessons that we all share with each other. Yeah, I missed that a lot.
Yeah. And I bet you if you do go back to teaching, those students you've touched and those you come across in your workshops will learn more than just life themselves, but they'll learn themselves more than anything. Once again, thank you so much. I've pretty much hit my pinnacle. I think I can quit now. That's it. We're good.
Thank you, Vinny.
Thank you so much, man. And once again, thank you for watching. Thank you for viewing this amazing occasion. I hope you enjoy this podcast, and I hope you have a lovely day.
Queensland.